Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I do apologize for the extended downtime. I do apologize for the extended break, but we have returned with the grand finals. For those that weren't in the chat, shout out to Kerr for giving us a little bit of insight as to what was going on. I didn't listen to it myself, as of course I'm going to be covering those matches a little bit later. But here we go. We have Bjorn and Percival. They were in the semifinals, and Percival takes down Bjorn 2-1. Did go in his favor, did go all the way to the ace match, but shout out to Percival. Again, we have spoken about Percival's growth over the year, how he has beaten and taken maps and series off of Bjorn, and Cure and Bunny has been able to fight back. A big reason for this, of course, is TvT has had to improve, has been forced to improve because of all the Terran players in the Korean region. So initially it wasn't looking amazing, but has gotten better over time, and now we're getting into the grand finals. It is going to be a best of 5 between Percival and Krystianer. Here we go. Now, before we get into the finals, we do have something special ready for you. As always, we do have the raffle, La Rifa, baby. It is going to be raffle time here. Quickly heading on over, we do have 5 USD every single week, every single Sparkling Tuna Cup. We have a random participation raffle. We have 5 USD ready to go to one of these lucky players. Oh, bam. There we go. As a reminder, all players are equally eligible for the random raffle. All players are eligible. It will go to 1 of 17. This week you have 17 players here that are eligible. All you have to do is have to have played tonight. If you did forfeit at some point early on, if you forfeited, if you did not compete, then you are ineligible for the random raffle. But here we go. We have 17 players, and this week one walks away a little bit richer. This week, bam! Oh my god. Congratulations here to Bjorn, as Bjorn does walk away winning 5 USD alongside its earnings from the semifinals. Congratulations to Bjorn, and a shout out to Krystianer for coming in second place. For the runner-up of the random raffle. I see Milky Cow, I see I see Nice as well, followed by Nylon, followed by Nicarak. So congratulations to Bjorn, does earn that 5 USD. Congratulations, does have a little bit of a it does walk away with at least a little bit more here, as he is denied the final series, and we're getting ready for that final series, that final best of 5. Here we go. Krystianer and Percival are about to face off. They're about to face off here. Vita's underway. It is going to be a best of 5 finals match. PvT. Let's go. Let us go as we get ready here for those finals. Un momento here. Un momento. Just setting up the players. Bam. Beautiful. Setting up the players, setting up the maps. Game 1 is going to be on Ruby Rock. It is going to be a Ruby Rock here. Just catching up in the chat. Yes, hashtag rigged in the chat. True. Gonna owe $5, so $5 plus the earnings from the semifinals as well. But here in this random raffle, yes, does walk away with 5 USD. And here we go. We are getting into our grand finals here. We have our series, have our finals. Game 1 is on Ruby Rock. Let's go. We do have our TVP Korean Terran, but not the Korean Terran that we assumed. Again, we spoke about this last time, but last week Krystianer took down Classic, and Classic was denied even entering the semifinals, if I recall correctly, or at least denied the finals. This time Bjorn also denied the finals as well. So the favorite players have been not so favorite in the Sparkling Tuna Cup. We have had these upsets week after week after week, denying the quote-unquote favorite players from making it to the finals, and now we have our top 2 for the week of 115. Sparkling Tuna Cup number 115, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock. We do have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the Polish Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVP. Let us go. Now, as we get into this, also a bit of a shout out to our patrons. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. This tournament is funded by the people for the people. Thank you so much, all of our current patrons on the Patreon, our patrons on Patreon, for all the support, of course. And if you want to help us grow the event and grow the tournament and support support the players and support the scene and support StarCraft, you can do so via Patreon. The Patreon does fund our tournaments. It funds Sparkling Tuna Cup. It also funds Duckling Open and Master Swan Open as well. We do host 3 events on a regular basis, all funded via Patreon. So thank you so much all the supporters in the chat, all the supporters, period. Thank you so much. As we get into our TVP, now coming into this, welcome and all to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is one of the smaller maps in that pool. Aggression is favored, and we have seen a lot of aggression from Percival. Coming into this matchup, Percival, his best matchup is TVP. We have spoken about his growth over time. He has improved his TVT and TVZ over time. That is true. But this is a matchup that he has thrived in for a very, very long time. If you haven't been watching Percival over the past year, then you might not be familiar, but Percival, he has been one to take maps in series of players like MaxPax, players like Hero, players like Classic. The top Protoss players in the world have fallen prey to Percival in his more aggressive style and aggressive tendencies. That was the case in the previous patch, but in this patch it's a little bit different here. So first things first, as we step into Ruby Rock, welcome to a more aggressive map. I do expect to see aggression out of Percival. 2-base play is very much so the norm, and we already see a second Rax. Second Rax is on the way, and we might even go for a third Rax. If we see a third Rax before Starport, 2-base all in. So already hyper aggression, delaying the starport and going for a second Rax. This could even just be a 2-on-1. We have seen a lot of new variations of 2-on-1 which do provide early tank and early Viking support, and there it is. Starport is on the way. We do have the 2-on-1. Now traditionally this leads into a stim timing, but in recent times we have the more modern variation in this matchup which leads into an early tank push and leads into early Viking support as well. So this is going to hit like a truck. So hyper aggression. Meanwhile Krystianer, he does poke in. Krystianer, he doesn't scout much though. He doesn't see much that's going on in the main base. He doesn't realize how much danger he is in. And Krystianer, he is in danger. He is in danger. Behind this, Krystianer, he's going, ooh, no shot. One gate? He's going gate into blink into a third base off of a singular gateway before second gateway, before third gateway, before robo, before gases. This is insane greed. Krystianer should just die. I mean, insane greed out of Krystianer. Meanwhile, Percival, now, if you remember, I was talking about this more modern variation of 2-on-1, which leads into early tanks and Viking support. This is not the more modern variation. This is the more traditional variation, going for early stim, going for heavy fire play. Here we go. The first Marines are moving out. Tech Lab is on the way in the factory, so we can reinforce with tanks. Regardless, this is hyper aggressive, and it's going to be difficult here for Krystianer to defend and to survive and to get away with this. So we'll see if he can. He shouldn't. Like, this is illegal, by the way. Going gate into a third base, singular gateway into blink into a third, is insane. Hellions that make their way into the mineral line, drop into the main base. Probes are going to be going down. So far, 3 Hellions, they one-shot probes. They get 4 probes so far. Yeah, 4, 5, getting up to 6, 8. Oh my god, 8 probes go down. Critical damage already in the natural. Meanwhile, the Marines are not done in the main base, and this is too much. This is becoming far too much. 14 workers go down, but a big reason why this much damage was done was because of how many corners Krystianer did decide to cut, and as a result, he is looking dire here. Things looking dire for Krystianer. Again, just hyper greed early on, gets punished, 14 probe kills, and remember, this was merely the first wave. The stim timing hasn't even arrived. Stim is almost done. Tanks are rallying out, and Percival, he's going for his 1-2 punch. We began with the Hellion Marine harass, and now here comes the main army, the main push. It is coming, and once it does arrive, I'll be honest, I don't think Krystianer can stop it. Don't think he can stop it here. As Percival does begin the move out. Stim is revealed. Takes out the Adept. And we do see that Krystianer has to buy time. He has to be active. He has to buy time. He has to force out a stim. He has to force an early siege. He has to force a pickup. He has to force back the Terran player and buy as much time as possible. Speaking of, going for the tank. Oh, nice juggling here by Percival. Does juggle back. We're rallying everything we can here. Again, Krystianer, he has to engage ahead of time. If he can, he has to snipe a tank. Oh no! Yeah, a bit of a miss rally. Bit of a miss rally here as Krystianer is forced back at the same time. Drop across the map, going for the Immortal. No safety shield battery. Yeah, there's no battery. The Immortal, will it go down? It barely will not. It barely does survive, but on barely any HP. That was a lot of Marines. A lot of Marines have been thrown away, and Percival getting a 3rd CC. So on the one hand, Percival, he didn't commit across the map, he didn't get a chance to. I will say that so far Krystianer has done a good job here at engaging, at delaying, and at picking away at the army of Percival and stopping the aggression. As you can see here, 10 Marines. 10 Marines went down. The Hellions, of course, went down earlier as well. But with that, Percival, he's forced back home. He sieges up 3rd TC. The game will continue. So Krystianer, he has successfully bought enough time. He's successfully gained map control away from Percival. And he's pinning him back. Now, what's important is, as we do have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. Now, what's really important about this current game state is that Percival, he retained his army. He didn't commit to the 2-base all-in and then lose his forces. No, he was very mature. He decided after he lost too many Marines, after he missed his window, after he missed his timing, he backs off. He backs off. He retains the tanks. He retains the medevacs. He retains the marauders, and he's building up into a later timing once he gets his 3rd base. So Percival, he still has momentum. He still has a terrifying army. It's still on Krystianer to just buy time to stabilize. He has yet to stabilize. Yes, he's getting his 3rd base operational, but his economy is still lackluster, and his tech is still lackluster as well. He's building up and working towards Colossus. Krystianer needs time. Krystianer, he needs time for Colossus, and we'll see if he can get that time. Oh boy. We shall see. Just catching up with the chat. Just catching up. I thought all your grapes. Oh no. There we go. There we go. We have returned. So again, hopefully everything's okay. Whether it was, Uber Eats at the door or maybe some latency issues, but we have returned. Krystianer poking in and picking up a couple of Marines, and Percival is looking to expand. Snipes the observer. Keen eyes the art of Percival. Oh my god, loading up everything? Question mark, the tank's exposed. A very nice pickup. Because Percival loaded up all his Marines, that meant the tanks were exposed. One tank goes down. Krystianer has been very opportunistic. So some fleek moves here by Krystianer. Slick moves. So good. Percival, I mean, he still has the advantage. He still has momentum. You can see here, Percival maintains a greater economy, even working count plus mules. He still has a terrifying army. Krystianer has been able to try to stabilize, but he will lose the base. Yeah, he will lose the expansion. Krystianer, he's out of position. The Nexus is going to be killed, not even cancelled. That is going to be a kill. A massive pickoff. Percival, he still maintains that lead. Now, how can Krystianer recover? Well, he's doing what he does best. Triple Robo, Mass Disruptor. Now, if these Novas connect, if he can land these Novas, then Krystianer can recover, he can make up for that supply, but he needs these Novas to connect. Like, this is a necessary requirement here. Without that happening, Percival will just overwhelm. So Disruptors are coming. The Novas have. Seems like Krystianer getting away with that insanely greed is pretty nice, though. He didn't get away with it. I should emphasize that Krystianer, he tried to get into a greedy build and he was punished for it. That's why Krystianer lost 16 probes and now a base as well. Like, this is why Percival has had so much momentum. So Krystianer, he didn't just die outright, but any kind of advantage that the faster base would have given him was stripped away. And the advantage was stripped away. Percival is moving in. Again, at this stage of the game, the Protoss player should be up like 15 plus workers at this point, but we're even on workers, which means that the Terran player is ahead economically. But again, we have those Disruptors. We have 3 Disruptors so far. Oh, EMP goes up. Nova does get one ghost. Two ghosts even, okay. Two ghosts go down. Colossus does fall. That's the final Nova. Zones away. Just zones. Yeah, just zones away. No Novas remaining. We have another reinforcing disruptor. Krystianer playing with fire. He's playing with fire here. Bleeding out a lot of units. Yeah, he can't stick around. He cannot stick around. The Nova doesn't connect. Oh, that does graze some Marines. One disruptor does go down. Krystianer looking for a better angle. He dives on the tank. Nice pickup. Takes down the tank. Cashes the Widowmine. It's got, what, 3 more Novas. 2 more. Oh, the Novas are resetting. And the Novas, they are not quite connecting. Yeah, they do not connect. Disruptor's finally going to be going down. And Percival, he dominates the fight. He collapses on the army. 13 SCVs go down, but Percival, he will chase down every Disruptor. 0 Disruptors remaining. A brutal fight there for Krystianer. Again, he was playing with fire, but he had to. Again, there's just been so much pressure on Krystianer to try to find some damage, to try to recover, but he never did. Never quite did. We saw some okay Novas, but in the end, he was still bleeding out too many gateway units. And Percival looking to snowball out of control, taking down another expansion. 5th base is going down. Krystianer, he's going back into Colossus. The Viking count is still very high. 9 Vikings. It's a lot of Vikings. We got 2 more Disruptors. Speaking of, first Nova goes off. Decent connections though. Very nice. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Percival, he took some massive Novas to the face, and he can still just stim in. He can still just stim forward. That's how far ahead Percival is. A lot of the supply are in Vikings, and maybe not the best use of supply here, so that is a factor, I suppose, but they can always land. We're down to pure their gateway composition. Nice EMP on the Zealots. Another EMP on the Stalkers. 2 Disruptors have arrived, and oh, hot pickup. Yeah, nice pickup. Does save the army. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Percival, he will take game number 1. He'll take a lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very strong start out of Percival, winding it back. Percival, he did open up with a 2-1-1, and he did punish Krystianer. That's why Krystianer, he was playing from behind from the beginning of the game. He tried to get away, tried to open up with a hyper greedy build, rushing to a 3rd Nexus, and he didn't get away with it. He lost 16 probes in the follow-up to the Hellion harass, to the Marine harass as well, and with that lead, Percival he was able to maintain that lead, gain momentum with a massive army, and bully Krystianer. Krystianer's best chance at recovering were his Novas, were his Purification Novas, his Disruptors, and we saw some okay connections, but we also saw Krystianer bleed out a lot of gateway units whenever he tried to engage. So these Novas, they weren't for free, right? They weren't connecting for free. He was still trading out army every time a Nova was attempted, and in the end, GG. GG well played. Percival does overwhelm, does take it, and now we're getting into game number 2. And I'm curious, what were the vetoes? Game 1 was Ruby Rock. Game 2 is Tourmaline. These are both very aggressive maps. And if we're talking about aggression, I have to favor Percival here. Percival, he's going to be loading into Tourmaline, and this favors 2 base play. It favors these aggressive builds, and we should be seeing more of that from Percival. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Offside Esports. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of it. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran leading the series 1-0. It is Percival. Here we go. As we are getting into our next series, as we get also getting into our next game, as we're continuing the finals here. And welcome to Tourmaline. As we mentioned before, Tourmaline has a very accessible third. Has a very accessible third base, has a very accessible natural base as well. So these big aggressive builds and these big 2 base all-ins, they hit very hard on Tourmaline. Now this goes both ways. We have seen, for example, Max Packs be quite successful with what? 4-gate blink stalker. We've seen a 4-gate blink be quite active and be quite common, quite popular on Tourmaline, because even though I'm saying that aggression is favored, it doesn't just have to go the Terran way. Aggression is also favored from Protoss players as well, so they can try to be more aggressive, more assertive, and try to put the Terran player on the back foot. It is difficult to achieve that for sure. There's a little bit less kind of variety when it comes to what Protoss can bring to the table early on. We'll see what Krystianer opts to go for, if any kind of aggression. For now, double gas. Double gas out of Percival, faster factory, delayed CC. We have a more tech-heavy start out of our Terran player. Meanwhile, we'll see if Krystianer tries to be greedy. I do not want to see him go for a fast third CC, because again, it is easier to punish that sort of build here on Tourmaline. Just like on Ruby Rock. I would say even worse, actually. Like this is even more aggressive, and it isn't just how open the bases are, but the rush distance by ground is very short. There's no like point of elevation here. There's no high ground advantage to try to slow down the army. There's like some side blockers here, kind of, and this can kind of be used, but not really. It's not easy to slow down an aggressing player here. There's that CC on the low ground. Twilight Council open out to Krystianer, and we are expecting another gateway. Like, we're not no shot we just rush into a third base. We need more gateways, we need a robo, we need a defensive setup here. Eyes are on Krystianer. Percival breaks in, gets one Reaper goes down. Probe Scout confirms that there is a base, so Krystianer, he's aware of the expansion. Do see Percival going for his own 1-1-1. Moving out with his Reaper Heli. The goal here is to get economic damage, to dive into a mineral line, and to kill some probes. Here we go. Yep, there it is, 2 more gateways. So already 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink, a much safer build this time from Krystianer, and he fully was off. Oh no, there's a hole. There's a hole in the wall. That was not intentional. Hellions get in. Reapers, they bust into the main base. Probes are going down. Disastrous here, as that was meant to be a full wall. We're hero fans here, as it's going to be 5-6 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. The Hellion is still in the natural, by the way. 9 probes going down. A brutal start here. There's a cancellation. Again, there was no, the plan was never to go up to 4 gateways. This was just meant to be a full wall, but alas, the SimCity does not work in Krystianer's favor. Who planned this SimCity, Pappy? And Percival takes a lead. Percival takes a massive lead here, and we didn't really get to talk about this last game, but it is applicable. It was applicable last game. It's applicable here as well. We spoke about this in a previous semifinals match between Ryung and Krystianer, but TVP is very momentum based, and it goes both ways. But if either player can deal this much damage early on, it is so difficult to recover. 4 SCV kills. Nice counter damage though here by Krystianer. Very nice. Gets 5 SCVs at the same time. Percival dropping into the main base. Krystianer does react in time. And does pull away. Baits at the mine shot. Ooh, nice save. Nice save on the Widow Mine. This final Widow Mine should go down. Oh, the Maverick taking a lot of damage though. Takes a lot of hits. And where exactly are we? As the dust settles, Krystianer, he lost 13 probes went down. Like, that is, again, critical damage being dealt early on. Especially considering that Krystianer, like, I mean, again, he was playing safe. He went for a safer build, but the safe was not good enough. The SimCity was not good enough. Now, coming in towards the mid-game here, Percival, he did sustain some losses. It is crucial. It is crucial that Krystianer at least killed 6 SCVs in the counterattack. So he got some counter damage done. Krystianer is still in a rough position, but he's not taking this lying down. His third base is getting up. So we at least have somewhat of a back and forth here. See one probe. Behind this, we have a 3-1-1 setup here. Stim is on the way. We had even 2 bunkers just in case. Tanks are set up. Percival is secure. Now, from here, Percival, he has a choice to make. Ooh, he has a choice to make. Does he go for 2 more Maxes? We have the answer. I was going to ask, does Percival go for 2 more Maxes and go for a 2 base all-in, or does he get a 3rd CC? Well, we have the answer. 2 more Maxes, 2 base all-in. Now, this makes sense considering the damage that was dealt earlier. Percival, he knows that he was able to deal some crippling damage. He knows he has momentum, and the goal here is to end the game. To end the game with this 2 base all-in. Oh boy. So building on more biome, building on more army. Krystianer's not fully aware. As Krystianer, he has not seen the ranks counts. For what he knows, it could be a 3rd CC behind this instead. Ooh, and Percival is going to try to sneak up behind the Stalkers. Now, ideally, Percival, he will force the blink, does force the blink, and then comes in from behind and catches the Stalkers. And here we go. Here comes the mass salvage. Here comes the move out. Army comes in from behind. And Krystianer, can't look away. He saves a couple. He saves 2 Stalkers. 2 Stalkers get out, the rest do fall. And here we go. Do we pull the boys? We do. The boys are being pulled. Again, as we mentioned, once we saw those 2 Maxes, that screamed 2 base all in. So the boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing. And Percival, he's here to end the game. Krystianer has Storm. Oh, Krystianer's Storm just finished. He has 3 High Templar, but he only has energy for 1 Storm. He needs a little bit more time. Okay, he has 2. He has 2 Storms currently. Getting up to 3. Ooh, there's a first. There's 1 Storm. He has 2 left. Yeah, 2 Storms left. Tanks, they're getting within range. Tank volley's going up. And Mortal barely got away. We currently have 2 Storms, but we could see an NG overcharge. For another. There's a scan. SCVs are being kept back. They're ready to repair, ready to buffer. And here we go. Zealots are coming from behind. Storms are coming in as well. Nice. Oh, the target firing. Yeah, it does focus on 2 of the High Templar. There's 2 Templar left. But the Zealots they get on top of the tanks. And Krystianer, he shuts down the all-in. Whew. Very clutched around. GG gets called. And Krystianer, he will tie up the series 1-1. Hey. GG, well played. A very, very intense game here, but a very nice surround by Krystianer. Came in from behind. He was able to buy a little bit more time. Storms weren't really a big factor there. More importantly, the surround and getting on top of the tanks. Got on top of the tanks, focus them down. GG. So far, it's been a very intense series. Non-stop aggression, non-stop all-ins. I say non-stop all-ins. Game 1 was a little bit different, but we saw a lot of aggression nonetheless, and we'll see if that continues. Where are we dropping? What map are we loading into? That's what I want to know. Whew, okay. As we are going to be loading... Here we go. We are going to be setting up here for our next game. We just... the lobby was made and we had Tourmaline again. I was like, hold on. We just had Tourmaline. There we go. Game 3 is going to be on White Rabbit. Okay. A couple of things here. I don't want to say that maps always dictate how games go, but they usually do. I will say that. There's a reason why if you notice when it comes to our casting, like we do often emphasize maps, and it often pays off because it often dictates how players approach the maps. Ruby Rock and Tourmaline, small maps, open throw bases, they favor aggression, and we saw a lot of aggression on both of those, including all-ins. Makes sense. Up next, White Rabbit. White Rabbit is now a larger map in the map pool, a much larger map, longer rush distance by ground, more defendable bases. There is a higher chance that we enter the mid game here. Not saying that that's 100%, but there's like a more likely chance that we slow the game down and actually have a macro kind of back and forth mid game. But we'll get there. Spawning in the top right hand corner of White Rabbit, we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the Blue Terran being forced into a tied series. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. Here we go. as we get into game number 3. Remember, this is the best of 5, so we have plenty more games ahead of us. We have plenty more games to go. For the time being, though, this is going to be the decider match to determine who will take a lead in the series. Let's go. Who will gain that momentum? But no surprise, for the first time in the series, economic opener. Single gas. Single gas, guys, are racks expand out of Percival. And we should be seeing a lower gateway count out of Krystianer, going for a faster third base. Welcome to White Rabbits. White Rabbits 1 is a reference to the Matrix, with White Rabbits with the theme with the green kind of black neon. So I appreciate the reference, at least. Do appreciate it. But it is a large map. It is a very large map, and the map pool does have a longer rush distance by ground. Likewise, has more defendable third and fourth base options as well. So the chances of us entering the mid game here is higher. Not saying that'll happen 100%, but there's a higher chance that we do enter a slower kind of game state. Eyes are mainly going to be on Percival to see how aggressive he plans on being. Now, what I will say is that if we were casting, say, 3 months ago, I would have said that Percival would all in 100%. Like, he would just all in. He would just 2-base. Like, Percival, he would almost non-stop 2-base all in TVP a couple of months ago. I mean, hey, that was the meta. We saw everyone 2-basing all in, especially around the DreamHack Dallas period of time earlier this year, like around July. That's true, that was the case, but in the current meta, because we've seen more mid-game and more mid to late game, Percival has also adapted. Like, as the meta dictates, Percival, he has also been embracing that more macro-oriented style as well. Speaking of, there it is, third CC. Speaking of macro, bam, the greediest build you can go for, 3CC 3 racks. Hyper greed here out of Percival. This is similar to what we saw out of Krystianer previously in the series. Remember, Krystianer went gate into a third base. This is racks into 3CC. So hyper greed out of Percival. There is some pros and cons here. What is the biggest con? Remember, 3CC 3 racks. No factory. There's going to be a second racks and a third racks as well. Heavily delayed factory, heavily delayed tank production. Because of that, defensively, Percival's going to be quite weak. He's going to be very, very weak defensively here. He'll have bio and just nothing but bio for quite some time. If Krystianer realizes what's happening, he can respond with a 4-gate and he can try to all in or just be hyper aggressive and kill Percival. Like, Percival, he is vulnerable to something like 4-gate Link Stalker. But as we can see, gate into Robo opener out of Krystianer, rushing into fast Colossus. Are we going for a Colossus drop? Is that happening? I mean, Colossus drop would work well here. As we mentioned, there's no Starport, there's no Vikings, there's no Cyclone because there's no factory. So rushing into something like a Colossus drop could find some damage. And if they poke in, they get a Marine. Yeah, 1 Marine so far. They don't quite get into the main base, but he does, of course, take note of no Hellions, right? So that's a bit of a tell. It could still be a 2-on-1. It could still be a 2-on-1 here, so this isn't the biggest confirmation yet. Does get in. So for all Krystianer knows, this could be a 2-on-1, this could be a 3 racks, it could be a 3CC 3 racks. There are options here. Krystianer still has no confirmation. Meanwhile, it is Colossus drop. We have Prism, Speed on the way, and Colossus on the way as well. This build was pretty common a couple of years ago, back in 2023, 2022. A couple of years ago, this was relatively meta. This was a way you would open up here in TVP to shut down 3 racks play. And this is almost 3 racks play. It's 3CC 3 racks. Back in the day, 3 racks were a lot more common. This was back in the era of Side Delta. If you remember Side Delta, during that map pool back in 2022, 2023, that is when we saw this build be a lot more common in the meta, to shut down heavy bio play and late factory and late starport play. As a Colossus does drop in, and we just get free damage. Like, this should just be free damage here on the Marines, on the SCVs. There's no stim. Oh, has to be careful though. Jesus. Oh no! Oh, bit of a miss rally. Has to be careful. Has to zone away. There we go. Gets another swipe off. Peeking away at the Marines. But did sustain a lot of damage already. Has to be so careful. Remember, Stim is almost done. When Stim finishes, then he can dive on the Prism. Another swipe. Another swipe. Oh! Yeah, Colossus taking a lot of damage. Stim is done. Oh. Yeah, Stim is complete. Marines are coming for the interception. There's a Stim. Yes, Stim does pop up. There's a recall in the prism. No, the prism gets shot down. Alas, Krystianer, he was playing with fire, and that is brutal. That is a brutal loss here. Up until that point, hey, he killed 10 Marines and a couple of SCVs. That was good damage. That is not worth a Colossus and a Prism and War Prism speed. Oh, boy. Here comes Percival. Aye. Things were going well until Stim finish, right? Until Stim finish, until we had the surround. Percival is landing his third base. Remember, this was a greedy build out of Percival, and Percival, he sustained some losses, but he was not punished. Percival, he was not punished. He gets his third base. He has a massive economic advantage. Krystianer, he's going to try to be proactive. There's a Stim. Yeah, Stim on top of the Colossus. Clutch save. Clutch save. Punishes the Marauders, not bad. That was what, 4 or 5 Marauders? 3 of them went down. So 3? 4, okay, 4 of them went down. Krystianer, he denies mining at the third and he backs off. Fun fact, Krystianer, he had no intention of committing, by the way. Like, he does not have an army to break Percival, but he fakes him out. He fakes him out, he makes him flinch. Krystianer, he gets the hell out of there. And Percival, hey, he was denied mining. Not bad. Not bad out of Krystianer, but he needs more of that. Like, Krystianer is still behind. Like, Krystianer, he's still in a rough position. He's getting a 4th base. 4th base is on the way. Follow the rabbit light. There you go. I still have not seen the new one. The Matrix Resurrected, the newest one. Heard mixed results or mixed thoughts on it. I'll get around to it. One day it'll be on Netflix and I'll get around to watching it. Ooh, as double turret. Oh my god, double turret here punishes the Prism. Prism goes down. Zalambe gets intercepted, and Percival, he's keeping up with all the aggression. Zelts are being cleaned up. Percival does defend. And Krystianer, he's still trying to recover here. He's staying on a lower gas count. He's on 4 gases. He's working towards disruptor production. Just 1 robo, 1 disruptor at a time. Doesn't really have the economy to sustain multiple robos, not yet. There it is. Going into triple robo. We should be seeing better saturation soon. Disruptors are soon to be amassing. Percival moves out. As he moves out, Krystianer moves in. Krystianer does spot the army. Going to make a choice, and he's going to try to collapse in. Never goes off. It grazes the army. Does graze the army. Not a bad start. But tank shots do punish. Krystianer's out of position. The 4th base is completely exposed. Oof, and he gets in. Yeah, he gets in. This base will go down. So free expansion for Percival. Recall to the 3rd. Tanks are exposed. Okay. Krystianer, he will catch the tanks. Gets 1. Percival, it's his turn to be out of position, or does he surround? This could go one of 2 ways. Krystianer, does he go for it? He does not. Plays it safe, pulls away. Rotating over towards the 3rd base. Does catch a couple of Marauders. And he avoids the surround. Not bad. Pulls away, rotates, he avoids the surround. EMP does connect. Yeah, brutal EMP. And again, this is a very fragile army. One wrong move, one wrong step, and Krystianer will lose everything. So he's got to be so careful with how he engages. Oh! Decent Nova. That does, yeah, it does rapid fire those Novas. Krystianer, he panicked. Did panic towards the end. I mean, again, he almost got surrounded. He lost how many disruptors as a result? 2. Yeah, 2 disruptors went down. Remember, Krystianer doesn't have too much gas. Can't afford to lose them. Catching Marauder. Does decide to commit in. Tanks are on siege. Nova goes off. We get a connection, but it's not going to be enough here. Percival collapses on the army. Liberation has arrived, and everything will fall. Yeah, Percival snowballs out of control. Takes down the main gateway army. Takes down the disruptor. There's one disruptor left. Aye. Again, that felt like a desperation push out of Krystianer, knowing he had to do something, but it wasn't worth it. Wasn't quite worth it. Krystianer, he plummets in supply. Percival, he's almost maxed out. He's almost maxed. Is moving in. Jesus, that's a lot of tanks. That's a hefty tank army, but yeah, as Liberation has arrived across the map, getting 9, 10, 11 probe kills. Krystianer just being pulled apart. His economy in shambles. Main army's trying to hunt him down. And Percival's army is large enough where he can just counterattack as well. Okay, tanks are exposed. Does get 2 tanks, only 2. Oh, he pulls away, gets punished in the retreat. At the same time, the 5th base is going to fall. Percival takes down the 5th. Dropping into the main base. GG gets called, and Percival, he'll take a 2-1 lead in the series. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, a rough start there for Krystianer. Winding it back, remember, how did this begin? It began with Percival being hyper greedy, going 3 CC 3 racks, and Krystianer trying to punish with a Colossus drop and failing to. Right, the Colossus killed 10 Marines. Then he lost the Warp Prism. He lost the Colossus. It was a brutal start there for Krystianer. He lost any kind of momentum that he was building up, and he gave that to Percival. GG, well played, as Percival had a much stronger, much more comfortable start to said game and to said series so far, and Percival, he is 1 game away from claiming the series. Krystianer, he has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. It was a cheeky old school build to go for the Colossus drop. I did appreciate that, and especially against the build that Percival had gone for. I kind of liked the idea, but the execution was lacking, right? Getting cornered, getting surrounded, I mean, it was just a rough way to start the game on White Rabbit, and now we're loading into Winter Madness. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. Representing Offside Esports, it is Krystianer. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, the South Korean Terran. It is Percival. 1 game away from claiming the series. Here we go, and we are opening up with a proxy. Now, fun fact, I did talk about how White Rabbit is known for longer games, and we did embrace, you know, a 5 base setup from Krystianer and 4 bases from Percival, so we did get there in the end. What I was going to say is that welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is also known for longer games. It is a very large map, a lot of bases, very defendable, but we open up proxy 2 gates. At the same time, hello Percival. Proxy racks. I mean, because the map is so large, proxies make sense. So here we go, proxy 2 gate versus 2 racks Reaper at a Percival. 1 rack is proxy, the other is not. Who do we favor? On the one hand, I believe Krystianer hits first. Krystianer, I believe he should be able to strike first, and Percival is going to have a very awkward defense because half of his production is across the map. So this is going to get awkward for Percival. Making a Marine, not Reaper, tells us that this might just be Tech Lab into Proxy Marauder. And that's going to hit even later, is the issue. So Proxy Marauder is going to hit very, very late. Percival, he has not SCV scouted, and we're waiting for the Tech Lab. CC on location. There it is. There's a tech lab. So again, proxy marauder, but this will hit late. It does hit late here as we have to wait for the tech lab, wait for the marauder. Meanwhile, zealots are already popping out, and we're going to be reinforcing, not just with zealot, with stalker. Cybercore is almost done. Ideally, the cybercore is lined up with the next wave of units, so I have to wait a little bit longer here. A little bit lopsided, but there we go. We have the stalker on the way, being chronoed as we speak. Zealots have arrived. They will delay the CC. Nice repositioning. Does force a cancel immediately. Does force that cancellation. CC on the high ground. And it's the pressure's on Krystianer. He has to break through. He has to break this main base. The longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for Percival. I mean, I say that. Krystianer did expand. True. Back at home, I mean, there's no warp gates. There might be a recall if need be. Things are about to get rowdy. Things are about to get rowdy. Boys are being pulled. Does pull the boys, holding onto the depot. So far, so good. Percival, he's holding. Percival, he's holding on. At the same time, Marauder turns back around. Turns around to defend. We'll lose 5 SCVs. 6 SCV kills. Marauders are rallied back. And Krystianer, hey, he's got his natural. Getting his natural up and running, saturating his base. Krystianer does have a very comfortable economic lead. He's up 10 workers. And these Marauders, what's the plan? He wants to catch the Stalkers. He wants to catch those Stalkers. Marauders are revealed. Krystianer, he knows. Let's get the hell out of here. In a head-on fight, the Marauders will win. So the Stalkers pull away. Yeah, he pulls away. He avoids the surrounds. No. Now, we're in a really weird game state because of one thing. These 2 gateways depowered. What's the production? You tell me. Nothing. we have 1 gateway. True. We have 1 gateway. We have 1 warping available. Here comes Percival. He's rushing across the map. We got 2 stalkers to defend, and we're about to have 1 extra stalker with that warp in. Shield batteries are on the way. It's gonna be a tough hold. It's gonna get rowdy. It's gonna get crazy. Here we go. Percival, he's moving in. He's got a boy here as well to help tank. He's moving forward. If we had 2 extra stalkers, then maybe we could defend. Up to 3. 3 stalkers. The shield batteries are finishing up just in time. He's got the batteries. He's got the batteries. The boys are being pulled. Krystianer, so far so good. He's holding. He's holding on his buying time here for extra gateways, for extra warp-ins. Diving on the Marauder. Does not quite get it. That's 4 probes going down. 5. Behind this mirror, there's an expansion. CC is on location. First, we're killing probes. I mean, that's good enough. 7 probes go down. Seven probe kills. Oh. And Percival, he pulls away. Loving the use of the terrain. Stim is finishing up as well. Making use of that tech lab. And from here, the game continues. We do see Krystianer, he is up by 5 or 4. Like 4.5-ish workers. Blink is almost done. And can Krystianer punish? Again, that's a very heavy Marauder army. Blink is not yet complete. We'll lose 1 stalker. There's Stim. There's a Stim. There's a Blink. Does pull away. Percival is chasing. Blink is on cooldown. Just now off. Just off of cooldown. Krystianer pulls away in time. And Krystianer, he should be able to pick away at the army. There we go. Gets a Marine. Gets 2. 3. 3 Marines go down. It takes down the Marauders as well. Nice blink control, and Krystianer, he will completely clean this up. Massive win for Krystianer. He shuts down the army. Back at home, what is it to defend? Now, the turns they've tabled once again. Turns they table from one player, then to the other. Back at home, bunkers are being thrown down. The bunkers are not ready. Remember, there's no factory, no tanks. Yeah, no defensive tanks, and Krystianer, I think he's done it. I think he has done it here. Kills the bunker. Boys are being pulled. Nice snipe on the Marauder. Gets one, gets... Oh my god, barely doesn't get the other. Uno has one more shot of the Marauder. He gets it. Yeah, he dives in. Marauder goes down, takes down both Marauders, takes down the entire army, and with that, he has done it. He has broken at the natural. GG gets called, and we are going to the ace match. Hi, baby. My heart. GG, well played. Very intense, very back and forth. And in the end, Krystianer, he barely does come out on top. We're going all the way to the ace match, the final game of the series. Game 5. Let's go. Let us go. Again, initially, Krystianer, he was doing well for himself. He was able to pick away at the SCVs. What did he kill? Like 5, 6 SCVs at the start of the game, getting ahead, getting comfortable. Then we had the counter attack with Krystianer losing his gateways without having any production. He also bled out a lot of probes back at home. He lost 7 workers trying to defend. But then Blink kicked in, and Percival didn't go home. He did not go home. He tried to fight for map control, and Percival, as a result, he lost his army. He lost his Marines, his Marauders. He lost his main force in the center of the map. He had no defensive setup. He had no factory. He had no bunkers ready, so he just died then and there to the counterattack. GG. GG, well played. Very much on a knife's edge there, and now we enter the final game of the series. We're going to be loading into the Old Republic. Let's go. Whew, let us go. Rowdy Tuna. Yes, yes. And here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the red Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. Here we go. Hi. But here we go. We're getting into the final game of the series, getting into the ace match. It's been an intense broadcast, 4.5 hours, baby. It's been long, it's been intense, and we'll see how our players do adjust. Welcome to the Old Republic. The Old Republic is a very large map in the map pool. It's a large map, but it does have a very open third. Has a very open third. Sorry, I say open third base. It has an open fourth base, relatively open third, but the third base is okay. But the fourth base is much more open, much more exposed. It is very difficult to defend the fourth. The fourth base, we've seen many Terran and Protoss attempt and fail to defend the fourth base on the Old Republic, so we'll see who gains map control. I will be favoring whoever is going to be the aggressor, whoever gains map control, whoever is able to successfully contain their opponent and take that control away from them. We'll see. We'll see how we open up. I feel like generally I do want to favor Protoss getting into a longer game state here, but it all depends on how we get there. How do we get to the mid game? If at all. For now, double gas opener. Percival going for the faster factory. I would not be surprised if Percival tries to go for an all-in. We have seen many Terran players, because it's so difficult to play macro on the Old Republic, we've seen many Terrans just go for all-ins. Like 2 base all-ins have been relatively frequent, or even proxies. So we'll see. Clearly after the last game, nothing is off the table. As Percival moves out. We can see he's checking for proxy locations. We'll check the center, checks the left-hand side, check the triangular third base, checking the linear third as well. So after that last game, Percival just checking everywhere. Meanwhile, Twilight Council opener out of Krystianer. And Percival opening up a Reactor to Reaper Hellion. Okay. With this, once again, the goal is going to be for economic damage, to try to bust into a mineral line. We'll see if he can. Ooh, meanwhile, nice pick off here with the Adept. Adept does pick off the SCV, does lay the command center. Does delay. Second Adept has arrived, and Krystianer, can he delay it once again? Uh-oh. Reaper's low. Yeah, the Reaper is low. SCV is going to be zoned back. So far, nice damage here by Krystianer. Cornering the army. We get this around. Does snipe the Hellion. Nice pick up. Takes down the Hellion and does take down the SCV. This is worth it for Krystianer. He may lose both adepts, but a big delay here at the natural. And without that Hellion, now suddenly this army is that much weaker. The counterattack is that much weaker. As you can see, Krystianer, he wants that other Hellion. Shades away. Shades away. You can see Krystianer being proactive. He wants to try to engage ahead of time. He wants that Hellion. Won't find it though. Yeah, will not find it. Hellion pulls back home. And Krystianer, he's defended. Krystianer, so far, he has defended. Reapers are trying to make their way in. Krystianer, he snipes the Reaper. Nice pickup. So far, the Reaper Hellion has failed to get any damage done. Better start for Krystianer. Behind this, we do have a Robo on the way. 2 more gateways going 3 gates blink. Into a third after the Robo. So very safe play here by Krystianer. The pressure is on Percival. So far, the early game has gone the Protoss' way. And Percival is going for his Cyclone drop into Cloak Banshee. So Percival, he still has ways to get damage. Still has some Reaper Hellion as well. Dropping into the natural. No safety. Okay, there's a shield battery in the main base, but no battery here in the natural. Hellion goes down, dropping to the mineral line. Let's focus on the probes. Getting a Stalker as well. Yeah, Medevac is... Ooh, Medevac does get sniped. This army will fall, but does trade out with probes. Does focus on as many probes as he can. Getting it to 9, getting it to 10. Oh my god. Oh, there it is. 10 probes. 10 probe kills. Insane damage. Yes, Percival, he does lose the army, but that was meant to be traded. He does get 10. 10 probe kills. Percival back at home. He's not done. Here come the Cloak Banshees. And Krystianer, he has to recover. He has to counterattack. As he moves out, the Banshees are moving in. Uh-oh. Yeah, Banshees are moving in. Where's the Observer? The Observer is just now popping out. Stalker's out of position. There's no recall. Yeah, there's no recall available either. This could be critical damage. The Banshee moves in. No shield battery. The Banshee does 2 short probes. 1, 2, 3 probes going down. And no Observer in position. Stalkers across the map. At the same time, Krystianer to get some SCV kills across the map as well. 3. Thankfully, shield battery in the main. True. But mining is heavily delayed here. So nice damage out of Percival, keeping Krystianer busy and forcing all of Krystianer's Stalkers back home. It gets all forced back home. Percival, as a result, he can stabilize, he can build up. Getting to Sim, +1, and the question becomes, do we expand? Do we throw down Raxes? Now, it's been a very shaky early game. It's been very shaky. It's been very intense. Jesus, 17. 17 probes went down in total here. Not bad. Not bad damage at all. Jesus, the probe count is insanely low here as Krystianer has to try to build back up. There was another Banshee. There was another Banshee getting more probes. Third TC, we have the answer. Percival expands. I was curious. I was curious to see if he does expand or not. But we're building up into a longer game. Oh, and for the first time, I believe for the first time this series... Oh, no, we saw it on Tourmaline. True. For the second time this series, Early Storm. Early Storm out of Krystianer, not Colossus. Yeah, my attention. We have my attention here. Storm is on the way. Percival breaks out. Krystianer, he did not scout the command center yet. He's not fully aware, but he does see the move out. And back at home, he will have Storm available. He has 2 High Templar. He will soon have 2 Storms. But Percival gets across the map. Tries to at least. Banshee into the third. And Percival backs off. Okay. Mature decision. He saw the High Templar. He saw the Templar. He saw the Storms. Percival, he pulls away. He respects it. doesn't want to lose his army, taking a defensive stance here back at home instead. And Percival, he will relinquish map control. He gives it up. He gives up map control. He turtles up back at home. Krystianer can look to expand, but the base is denied. Shatters to that one Marine, forcing the center base instead. But Krystianer doesn't have to move in, and he shouldn't. I feel like he doesn't need to move in and base out the Widowmine shots. But there's no need to push into this siege line. We spoke about it, but the third base is relatively defendable here. It's the fourth base that's more exposed. And the goal for Krystianer should be to wait. Should just be to calm down, slowly expand, get your fourth base, build up, and wait for Percival to attempt to take a fourth base. And that's when Krystianer can strike. His Prism is moving in. I'm not too fond of the idea of the Prism going in by itself, but he's going for the natural. Going for the Zealot drop. Gets an SCV. Like, ideally you want this to coincide with another attack to try to pull away the attention of Percival. But went by himself. Gets a mule, gets 3 SCVs. It's some damage, but hey, he just lost the War Prism. Like, that was expensive. Prism goes down. That means that Percival knows that there's no threat of a counterattack. There's the 4th CC, and this is the moment that we spoke about here, is that when Percival tries to take his 4th base, that's when Krystianer should strike. But he just lost his War Prism. So Krystianer, he was a little bit premature. He's working his Colossus. Krystianer is building up his army. Percival, he's now marauding around the map. I'll say that Percival, he's playing with fire at the moment. Has to be careful. Nice EP. EP connects. But the Colossus have arrived, and we got to respect the Colossus. Oof. Colossi revealed, and Percival has to get the hell out of here. Kiteswell against the Zealots. Nice EMP against the Stalkers. Better trades out of Percival. Picking up Zealots, Stalkers, most of the Gateway army. Yeah, Krystianer, this was a very inefficient fight for the Protoss. And again, Percival not looking too bad. Percival is moving out. Percival's going to be the first to max. Krystianer is out of position. Starting back the army, going for the Colossus. Gets one. Oof. Yeah, one Colossus goes down. Mass EMPs, Jesus. Yeah, EMPs, they just blanket the army. There's still a couple of storms left. Percival is going to his 4th base, and the scary thing here is I did mention earlier that I do favor whoever has map control when it comes to dying the 4th. Krystianer does not have map control. He doesn't have it. Percival, he's been successfully kind of fighting him for map control. And Percival, now he establishes his 4th base. Krystianer, he does not have the massive economic lead that he needed. He's actually behind economically. He needs a 5th. He needs a 5th base, even a 6th expansion. But the base count is low for Krystianer. Low base counts. He rotates with his main army. Percival out of position. Okay. Krystianer, can he find a way in? Nice EMP. Colossus goes down to 2. And Krystianer, he's getting cornered. He has to get out of here. Cannot get surrounded as he will lose another Colossus. Oof. Down to 1. 1 Colossus left. I would want to see more disruptors here like we've seen previously out of Krystianer. But he's going back into Colossi. And Krystianer's just getting bullied. Oh, we finally get a 5th base on the way. Again, a very late 5th. Very late 5th. I mean, hey, we do see that Percival's already getting his own. coming from behind. Once again, a piece of Colossus gets another Colossus. And it gets one more. We get a decent storm. The final Colossus falls. 0 Colossi left. And there's 2 storms. Never mind. EMPs, a blanket, almost everything. There's 1 storm left. That was the final storm. And Krystianer, can he force his way in? He has no more Zealots, though. Yeah, without Zealots, he cannot collapse forward. He's still going to try to force the issue. Okay, we have a couple of Zealots trickling in. He's going for it. Alas, he's trying to. There's that War Prison behind this. Reinforcements on the way. Krystianer, can he break this position? I mean, the Viking count is getting low. True. Low Viking count. Colossus moving in. Nice dodge on the mine. Krystianer is going for it. He has momentum. He has to end it here and now. Here and now. This is his moment. Working his way in. Down to 1 Colossus. Liberation has arrived. Blinks in. Yeah, he dies on the Liberators. Gets 1, gets both. Takes out both lives. He's still just rallying Colossus across the map. And it's barely working. It's barely enough. Again, this time no more Vikings. CC is denied. Keep going. Keep rallying in. And again, he's broken the back. He's broken the back of Percival. Getting us over the higher ground, laying siege upon the mineral line. SCVs are going down. And this is a very brute force style, I'll be honest. It was very brute force, where Krystianer, he was just throwing away so many. How many Colossus died this game? 7! 7 Colossus have died. Just brute forcing the issue. And in the end, he does overwhelm. Well, you see typically Protoss players trade out like wave of Zealots and like non-stop Zealot production. Here, we took extra gases. Krystianer, he took his gases at his third base, gas at the force, and instead he was just throwing away waves of Colossus. And it worked. Again, it was very expensive losses, very expensive army, but he got the gases for it. Did break the third. Did break through. And again, we now only have a handful of Vikings, barely any bio, barely any like sustainability, barely any buffer here for the army of Percival. He can't afford it. He can't afford it. He's down to what, a 2 base economy. Okay, so Krystianer taking it slow. Taking it slow, zoning away. Ideally, we need more Zealots here. Reinforcing with a 4th Colossus. All the Vikings. And nice movement here out of Percival. He does try to reposition. Oof. Storm in the mineral line. Krystianer, he doesn't know about bottom right, so he believes he's further ahead than he really is, which is a little bit concerning, but he should still have enough. Diving in, we'll lose 2 Colossus, 3 Colossus even. Again, the Viking control has been solid. Zealots are rallying forward. So we lost 7 Colossus earlier. We've lost 11. 11 Colossus have gone down. Again, we're just throwing Colossi away. Now Krystianer scouts. Now he sees the planetary. Now he's aware. And it will kill it. Yeah, slides the planetary. From here he pulls away. Krystianer, he does save the SCVs though. Sorry, Percival, I mean. Does save the SCVs. He's able to maintain a 2 base economy, if that. He's got a CC towards the top side as well. And again, Percival's main army is still terrifying, especially if there's no splash damage. Now, how many Colossus will die this game? Do we get up to 15? Do we? Can we get there? We have 2 more on the way. That's Percival's trading well. Nice storm. A very nice storm. Storm connects. So zones back Percival. More storms coming in. And Percival is running out of EMPs. He's running out, but the army is heavily overstimmed as well. And Krystianer's done it. He's done it. I mean, he did it quite some time ago, breaking the 3rd base earlier. But Percival, he's just treading water. He cannot build up. Not anymore. He's trying as best he can. He's fighting his heart out. EMP connects with one High Templar. Just the one. Oof. And once again, Krystianer, he gets in. He gets in, takes down the CC. Zealot run by into a planetary. As Zealous, they shouldn't kill the planetary. Yeah, the Master Repair is too good. Instead, rotating over, going for the other planetary instead. The Colossus has arrived. GG gets called, and Krystianer, he will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. A very intense series, Pappy. Very intense. GG, well played. Congratulations. Krystianer, he does claim the series. It was very intense, went all the way to the ace match. Honestly, Percival, he had a stronger start to the series. It was up 2-1. But Krystianer, he just messaged me. He's like, hard life. He's like, ay, but GG, well played. Krystianer, he does say it in the end. He does. He is going to be our Tuna Cup champion here for the week of, for the 115th edition. GG, well played. Shout out to Percival. Percival, he fought hard. I mean, hey, remember, who did Percival beat to make it to the finals? Bjorn. Percival, he beat Bjorn to make it to the finals. So Percival, he had a good showing here to make it this far, but Krystianer barely comes out on top. Again, it was a very intense, very close series. Even this final game as well, I was concerned by just how much Krystianer was losing and how late his expansions were. Later 4th base, later 5th base, but it was very gas intensive, very tech heavy army instead. Instead of going for this mass Zealot composition, went for the mass Colossus composition instead, and he was losing a lot of Colossus to the point where I was concerned. I was like, yo, he's up against like 10 Vikings and we're still making more Colossus. Like, is this a wise choice? But as I tried to emphasize during the game itself, Krystianer, he brute forced it. He brute forced it where, yes, he was losing Colossus, but the Vikings were getting low over time, and eventually he was able to kill the Vikings. Viking production stopped. We saw Liberators on the way instead, and I don't blame Percival for stopping Viking production just because he had killed so many Colossus. He believed he didn't need as many Vikings anymore, and that's when we saw him strike. That's when we saw Krystianer just pop off, break through all the Vikings. Colossus came in to reinforce and barely was able to take those fights, barely overwhelmed. GG all played. A very messy game, but congratulations. No, good. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. What SCVs? Exactly. No economy, Pappy. No economy. Down to 32 SCVs. Oh. But yes, GG, well played. Krystianer strikes again. He strikes back. He does, Pap. He does. GG. And again, shout out to Percival as well. Again, he took down Bjorn to make it to the finals. Bjorn, who won the random raffle, of course. We're quickly checking the bracket here. Percival took down Bjorn, took down Young Yakov, of course, earlier as well. So was able to take down some key players from around the world before falling to Krystianer. Krystianer took down Ryung. Krystianer took down Nick. Oh my god, non-stop PvTs. Non-stop PvTs. Facing up against Nickrat, against Ryung, and against Percival as well. Fun fact, Krystianer, I mean, he went to the ace match in every game, in every series. He went to the ace match against Nickrat, ace match against Ryung, and ace match against Percival as well. So there's a world where we could have seen Nickrat advance on, or Ryung advance on instead. Like, these were really close, really clutch games. Even Bjorn versus Percival also went to the ace match as well. Even actually, oh my Jesus, so many ace matches. Bjorn versus Milky Cow went to the ace match. Percival versus Young. All these players, they're so close in skill. Just ace matches all over the place. Crazy, might be crazy. With Bjorn versus Milky Cow, with Percival versus Bjorn, Percival versus Young Yakov. Ryung versus Nice is the odd one out. True. But every other series. That's why this was a longer broadcast. 5 hours. 5-hour long broadcast. Aye. But thank you so much. GG, well played. Hope you all enjoyed the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed the Open Cup. Again, this is an Open Cup and it is funded by the people, for the people. Thank you so much to all of our patrons. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. If you want to support this tournament, if you want to support these players, if you want to support StarCraft, you can do so via Patreon. You can see on the bottom right hand corner of the screen that our current goal on Patreon is 670 USD, and we have reached over 600. We are making our way towards that next stretch goal. Again, if you want to see what the stretch goals are, they're all on Patreon as well, to grow the prize pool of our tournaments and grow them even further, grow them even larger. You can help us out via Patreon. And again, this is the longest standing Open Cup out there. It's been running longer than War TV Mondays or Pegasus Cups or Monday Night Weeklies or any of the other Open Cups. Technically, there are some regional weeklies that have been running for a longer time than us, like Sunrise Cup or the Legacy Weekly Japan. Technically, true, but those are region locked, right? Those are region locked to China, region locked to Japan. So when it comes to Open Cups, ours has been running for longer than any other out there. So again, we've been running these events for many years, and we plan on continuing that for more years to come. Into the future. So if you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. You can be a part of StarCraft history, papi. You can be a part of that. So otherwise, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for our next broadcast. You can also support us via Matcherino. There is a Matcherino page for this specific tournament to raise the prize pool for this specific event if you wish. So Matcherino is available to you. Otherwise, when it comes to our weekly schedule, bam, you can see we are going to be live tomorrow. We just wrapped up with the Tuna Cup, and tomorrow we're going to be live with Pegasus Cup. I might go live a little bit later. It is very late here in Australia, and I'm probably going to go to bed very late as well. So I'm a little bit tentative on Pegasus Cup, but we have the Pondcast on Thursday, we have MSO on Friday, and Tuna Cup on Sunday. So plenty of content throughout the week. We have Friday off. We have one day off this week. Otherwise, we are live at least once every other day of the week. Coming in towards Christmas. True, the holidays are right around the corner. We got Christmas, we got New Year's, so I hope you'll enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your holidays as well. As we're coming up on holidays, you know, hope you take care of yourselves, hope you enjoy yourselves, you know, just look after yourselves, papi. Yeah. So we enter the holidays, all the food, papi, all the food, all the gifts, all the Christmas. Let's go. Are we going to be casting Christmas Day? I think so. Let's just double check. I think we've tried to clear our schedule so we don't cast during the holidays. We have a StarCraft Evolution League for Christmas Day. We have Pegasus Cup for Christmas Eve currently. But we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys next week for the next Tuna Cup. See you then on Sunday. See you then, papi. See you then. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time.